You are now tuned in to another episode of the Sillygirlspodcast. I'm your girl Charsla.
And I'm your girl KeeKee.
And on this podcast, we dance in the rain. Yeah. What's good, YouTube? It's your girls, the Silly Girls Podcast, and we back again with another fresh and hot episode for you. Baby, let me tell you, please go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and comment and just say hi. Please go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time that we drop a video, as well as go ahead and tap the links in our description box and all that. But also, it is an arrow that is right under this video. And the arrow means that you can tell somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And because y'all family now, I gotta tell them how I would tell my family.
Tell them.
Share this motherfucker to a friend. Share it to everybody on your timeline, your contact list, your sneaky leak list, your big dick list, all them lists. Whatever list that you got, I need you to share it to, okay? Now, as well as, like I said, hit that subscribe button. We need you, to go ahead and join our family. That's how you let us know that y'all for real rock with us. Don't come and, give us the one night stand and go ahead and watch our shit and then just go on somewhere else. We need you to go ahead and make that commitment and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, okay? Now, that I have all of that out of the way, we are so excited, okay? This is, like, and she know, we'll get into why, we are so excited. But however, we have a guest today. Before he even opens his mouth and says anything, we have to give him his flowers, okay? So we have an amazing guest today. He is Rudy Rush, okay? He is a comedian. He's a radio host, a podcast, new host, an actor, the youngest host of Apollo. He has the Comedy Central special, HBO special, Bounce TV's 1 hour special, Premium Blend on Comedy Central, Harlem to Hollywood on Showtime, Def Comedy Jam 25 on Netflix. I mean, we can go on and on and on. But go ahead and give it up for Rudy Rush!
Look, don't tell my baby mama I did all that. The rap. What's up, girls?
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Well, we are so excited to have you. It is an honor to even, have you on our platform. This means the world for you even to, be our guest. Like for real, we give you our flowers and we say thank you in advance. We just, like I said, we appreciate you so much.
Listen, when y'all get even bigger than you are now, just make sure I get a chance to be back on. Remember me when y'all doing some big things right now, so it's gonna happen.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
We take that. So if you do not know, we are from Dallas, Texas. As you heard by our accents, we know that, like I said, that you were. Hold on, before. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna start with this or that. So all of our guests, we always play a game with them, an icebreaker. And we play this or that, okay? So you have to pick one. You cannot say neither. You have to pick one, okay, Rudy?
Okay.
So the first one.
This or that. Would you rather have a stinky body or stinky clothes?
You cannot wash neither for the rest of your life. So you can't wash your ass.
That's easy. I would do stinky body only because, like, during COVID, I stopped using deodorant and I realized like I didn't need it. Like, even sometimes, but I mean, if I work out a couple of days in a row or don't tend to like washing myself or whatever, I can get a little funky under my arms. But other than that, I'm good. Stinky clothes is stinky clothes.
Yeah.
Facts.
That makes sense.
Facts. So you a man that your natural body scene.
Oh yeah, it's intoxicating for women. Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. So the next,
basically, if I was in Africa, I'd be the shit. I'd be a chief or something. They be like, Chief Roo, he smelled goo goo. He will kill 3 alligators and still smell good.
Okay, so the next one. Would you rather be a wealthy crackhead? So you got all the money, but you're a crackhead. You cannot get off of crack for the rest of your life, okay? Or would you rather be a broke Caucasian man?
Oh shit. Now, you know what? I'm gonna say this. You said rich?
Wealthy crackhead.
Yeah. So shout out to my uncle. I love him, and he wouldn't mind me saying this. I'm gonna be the crackhead because he doing pretty good. When he got money, he on top. Like when he got money, it's when he kind of don't have no bread. He get out of pocket. But when he got money, he smoke his little crack and be like, "Yo, what's up? Let's go." He good. You be surprised how many crackheads got money.
Yeah.
Like the ones that don't got money, you see that. But if they got money, you can't tell they do crack. Your doctor probably do cocaine.
That's
facts.
True. That's so true.
That is facts. Because a lot of them, when they wealthy, they get so many different type of drugs and stuff because they want to get that next high. Or you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what?
Yeah.
Which one would you pick?
Wealthy crackhead.
Yeah, I be a wealthy crackhead because you know what I'm saying. Everybody got crackheads in their family, so we love our crackheads.
Most of our favorite uncles are the crackheads.
Exactly.
I love being black too, so I can't run away from that. Like as crazy as it seems for us as a people, that's the one thing I've never faced in my life is the fact that I would like to be something else. I mean, the struggle, all of the prejudice, everything against us, I still wouldn't change it.
Me neither.
It's crazy. And I'm speaking from the heart. Like I know this is a show, but now that I've been posed with that question, I would no disrespect to white people either, but it's just like I would never not want to be black.
Me neither. I always say that.
I love it. Being
black in any lifetime.
Especially when I'm naked.
You are so funny.
I'm gonna tell him.
No, go.
Don't tell him?
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell him. Okay.
Now you know you got to tell it now.
Because you done brought it up.
My business in the street.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you at the end. Okay.
Okay.
So, how did you get the name Joe Gorilla? Who came up with that?
So you know what? I actually came up with it because, like, I was trying to find something. You know, we as a people, and this is not just a black thing. Individually, when you are taking that journey through life or whatever, other people give you nicknames and stuff like that. And sometimes I was dealing, and I have to be honest, like with mental illness and stuff like that. It's levels to it. So for me, you know, Joe Gorilla came from me giving myself a moniker that really best describes how I feel when I'm on my game. I feel like there's no other comic that's better than me, better looking, all the things that accompany being a great, you know, majestic, you know, and a gorilla is a majestic, powerful creature, but it's an herbivore. It don't eat no meat. It don't do nothing but eat vet. You know what I'm saying? But he, you know, that's me. I'm a nice guy, but I'm a beast at it. So Joe Gorilla was one of the things that I said, yo, that's me, Joe Gorilla. And I'm actually described by a lot of comedians when they hit me up now, they be like, what's up, Joe Gorilla? So it actually fits. So I love it.
I love that. It's like Beyonce calling herself Sasha Fierce. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
it's alter ego.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I like that. Okay. Yeah. So I know on your page right now that you started this thing with, you know, doing top fives, right?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Who are your top 5 comics?
Yo, so I'm about to do that, and it's gonna get real like ugly in the streets because I'm gonna do probably 2. The old school and the new school, because you really sometimes it's, you know, with like I realize with LeBron James and Michael Jordan, you know, we talk so much about who's better, it takes away from how great they both really are. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan was unbelievable, and so is LeBron. And people who don't like LeBron, like, how is it that you can't like this kid that's come through so much adversity? And they both have great things that they've attributed because there's a player or players that were better than both of them.
Yeah.
That never really got the shine. You think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one thing I would say about him, just look at Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was a huge entity because he was outgoing, commercialization and everything. This dude changed his name to a Muslim name that people in this country totally probably could have. He probably got super death threats, so he wasn't getting the votes and all the commercials and all that stuff. This dude was the leading scorer for over 40 years. That's something that is unbelievable. And he's done everything. Won in college 3 times, won in the NBA, just as many championships as Jordan and everything you could think of. But his name never comes up. So basically my top comics, and I'm sorry, I went all the way around the world to get to it.
Take your time.
but to say that the people I like that's rocking right now, number 5 would be Corey Holcomb. He holding on very thinly because now he's just like a podcaster, and you know, I don't see a lot of growth, but he's funny to me because he says things that are off the wall crazy that
Wow.
no one else would say. So I'm gonna hold him at the 5 spot. At the number 4 spot, I got 2 people at once. I got Bill Bellamy and some more. The reason why, because I rock with them, and it's a little bit, they shouldn't be on the list because I'm so close to them, but I put them both at 4. At number 3, I put Joe Coy. Joe Coy is a fantastic Filipino artist who I helped discover a little bit, and he's doing major numbers out there, doing crazy. And then at number 2, I'm gonna have to put Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a good friend of mine, but he's hilarious. He makes me laugh. And then at number 1, that's tough because you still, now number 1, you still got Chappelle out there, you still got Kevin Hart out there, you still got Chris Rock out there. And I say, so those 3 are really cool, and I'll put them all at around 1. But honestly, on the strength of it, I might put Kevin out there for a body of work. Kevin Hart's number 1 right now. You can't really touch what he's doing, not only like on stage, on tour, but also on television. I love his movies. Honestly, I really enjoy his movies. Some people say his stand-up is, but you got to take the whole body of work, and whole body of work is Kevin.
I'm so glad that you put a woman on your top 5. Like,
oh no, listen, and respectfully, I put Bill in there because I work with him. He helped me out in my career. So, but Samore owns a spot for herself. Like, she is the girl who used to beat up boys in high school. Like, for real, like with no help. Like, you know what? Don't arm behind your back. Like, you know what I'm saying? She played on the boys basketball team and was scoring 25 points because that's how great. And I've worked with her, and I've seen her work ethic and how she gets down. And I'm a really good comic. And to come after me, which is another reason why I attribute Bill Bellamy to that success too. They are not afraid to have someone as great as myself going before them, and they come up and they hold their own, and they do as great as they normally do. They don't falter because they had, a lot of comics. If you both don't know, they and it's no disrespect to comics out there getting it, but if you a feature for a headliner, chances are they're not afraid of you. They're very happy that you go and tickle the crowd, get everybody happy, but then they come with the pain afterwards. But with me, I'm bringing the pain off top. So for them to do that, Samore is huge.
Yeah.
She is.
I love, and she's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she fly too. So
Yeah.
so when we hang out, we eat good. We, you got to dress up. I got to put on some shoes when I'm with her and a button down.
Yeah, she put it on because a lot of the time, you would think like comedians, you know what I'm saying, they look funny and stuff, but she's a fly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's fly too. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best advice someone in the industry gave you?
Wow, the best advice. Funny you should say that because it kind of came from someone who, I wouldn't say I don't like them, but we have a very strained relationship, which is Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey, I worked with him. People don't know this, when he was the host of Showtime at the Apollo before I became the host. And I think that might have been a rub a bit about it because it didn't happen the way he would have liked it to have happened. But while I was working under him as the warm-up for the show, I used to always do a guest appearance on the show. Every season we would do it. They would write in for, a space for me to actually be on the actual television show. I get a bigger check, things of that nature. So one night I totally was ripping. And I always did well, but this night I was coming into my own. It was kind of happening, and you know how things happen. And so we were in the makeup room, and what he told me was, he was like, dog, try to, when you do your sets, when you out on the road and whatever, he said, take your best joke and do it first. Which means, like, because most comics, they do it, they got to build up. You go to a comedy show, every time they end, it's usually we want to end on a big laugh. So take that big laugh joke, start with that, and then force yourself to make that B joke and that C joke A jokes. And so now when I start, we hear.
Yeah.
People leave my shows to this day. They're like, oh my God, I laugh from the beginning to the end. And I really attribute, if I can think about it, I would give Steve Harvey the credit for giving me that kind of advice. Unless he was trying to set me up. It worked in reverse, sucker. But I give him credit in a positive light.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
This dope. This dope. Okay, so we know that you're from Harlem, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, because we know that you were in Dallas. I'm not sure where you're located right now. But Dallas or Harlem, who has the better food?
Oh no, listen, I live in Dallas right now. I'm out in
Hey.
Arlington. Yeah, I'm up the street. So no, I have to say honestly, the South, you have so many different cultures. Like a lot of people come up north. A lot of our people came, from back in the days, whether it was slavery or whatever. We come from the South, and everybody just kind of ventured up north. So you get little places, little pockets where you may have some Cajun this, and you may have down here is everything. You got Southern cuisine, you got Louisiana flavor, you got the Mexican food. Everything is here. And in Dallas, there's more restaurants per capita than anywhere in the world. People don't know that. So yeah, anything that you can eat or want to eat is here in Dallas, and they got plenty of it. So I love it here. Yeah.
So do you miss Harlem at all?
Oh yeah, I got some younger siblings who still live there. A lot of people I came up with, as we get older, your friend circle gets smaller and smaller, especially when you're doing things like what we're doing, because everybody is on different timetables and you trying to ascend when you got some friends that ain't really. So I do miss a lot of the folks because I played basketball in New York City, so I would enjoy doing that. Have friends that I did that with or worked with when I was in corporate America. So little things like that I do miss, but I get to see them when I go back and do my shows because a lot of people come out and see me. So I get a chance to see people from junior high school, old teachers, whatever. But yeah, I miss New York, but it's all right.
Speaking of that, because like you said, because of you said about the friends when you go to certain platforms and all that stuff, some friends, you kind of let waver, whatever. Like, how are you dealing with that? Like with old friendships that they see your success and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think most of us, we got to understand it's part of us too. It's not just your friend not evolving. Maybe they're evolving in a different way. And sometimes, you could be a little disrespectful. If you want to save money and start building your future and your friend want to go clubbing, well, there's a way to address it. Sometimes you just don't, a lot of people break up in a bad way. Sometimes it's on a part. It's not just the other friend who don't want to do something. Sometimes it's you being like, yo, that's whack, and you treating them a certain way. Like, it's like somebody who finds Jesus, and all of a sudden next week they want you to find it. Like, nah, like you got to give them the time that it takes for them to find it. It may take another 5 years, but you can't do that. So you just kind of gracefully, eliminate yourself from the situation, but you can still stay a little locked in, at least friendly enough to where y'all see each other or bump into each other. It's like you guys never left. So yeah, so it's like that. I don't never kind of like diss nobody. I'm just like, yo, I got things to do. I got 2 girls I got to take care. I got a lot of stuff going on. I can't go do that.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Because you have been coming for forever. Now, with the climate of the world changing, with all of everybody getting canceled and all that, do you think that comics are limited on things that they can say on stage now? And, how do you actually, do your stand-up now because of that?
I think it's a little limited, but if you are funny, you'll find ways. Like I tell, younger comics or comics who come to me for advice, there's comics who feel like, there's been times where I've been on shows where comics are upset because you couldn't curse. I'm like, the best example I could use is someone like 50 Cent. 50 Cent is a businessman. You're going to hear his record on the radio and you can't put no cursing on the radio. So how do he do that? He made a version for his album, which is really how he wants people to hear his artistry. But he also has a business side that says, I have a clean version that you could play on the radio. You know what I mean? So the same thing is with this cancel culture. I had a joke about special needs kids. But it's not a joke about them. But then again, people do get out of sorts when they have a child or they deal with children that have that affliction that, instead of being funny, when you say the word that used to be associated with that, sometimes I'll use special needs or sometimes I'll just cancel the joke altogether. But there is a fine line now that you can't, even with the community out there. And that's what I call them. Like, I don't say the whole LGBT, but I'll be like, yo, that dude because it's funnier when you say, yo, that dude from the community, he was wilding out, and then it's like, yo, y'all got to be able to take some kind of jokes. It's not me saying anything derogatory or using any words that describe them as that. So yeah, there is a fine line, but I don't think it hurts comedy. I think it just helps you. It just makes you kind of have to, because there's certain things you're not going to say anyway. Like, you're not going to talk about certain things. So now you just kind of X a few things off the list.
Yep.
Because I'm saying, I know, like, even looking at, comedy back in the day, like, y'all were raw as hell.
Super raw. Like, yeah. Like saying the F word or B's, and like you could still say B sometime, but it got to be like on some Queen Latifah. You better be playing. But like there's a lot of language that you cannot use, or you just can't joke about the community like you used to. You know what I mean? Like Bernie Mac would have been canceled right now talking about some milk and cookies. They would have ate his ass up for that. But it was fantastically funny. Yeah. But at the same time, in today's world, people would actually frown upon that.
Yeah. And I'm saying that because I look at certain stuff and I'm like, I feel that, when y'all are on stage, I feel that y'all should have the freedom to say, we know certain things, you know what I'm saying? But I feel that for me, just as a viewer, it seems like that y'all not allowed to just be, you know what I'm saying, as raw and funny, because you have to limit yourself. So I always want to get to the opinion of comics, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it doesn't affect me. I don't write with the idea in my mind like, oh, I got to be careful. Sometimes for me, it just comes easy to just adjust to the climate, because it's almost like, you do a corporate gig, or you do a church gig, or you do Def Comedy Jam. Like there's a set for all of those three things. So you adjust to that. So why not adjust to the new standard of how we talk to each other now? That's it.
Yeah. That's true.
Now listen, speaking of, you said Def Comedy. Listen, the Def Comedy Jam, the 25, with how, because you were there, okay?
Yeah, I was there.
And D.L. Hughley and Dave Chappelle went off. Like, how was the room? How was the atmosphere? What was going on? Like,
I don't know if this is the first interview I've done asking about that, but let me tell you, the funny thing about it was when they were doing that, there was an outtake, and I was saying, because and as great a night as it was, and how awesome they had it set up, I was saying to myself as I was sitting there, I was like, they need to keep this part in there,
right?
Because this is funny. Them messing up is the best. It's turning out to be the funniest part of the night. I hope they keep it. Now, I never said I hope they keep it because I got a shout out. I didn't even notice that until when it came out. I was like, oh shit. They kept that part in there when they were shouting everybody out. So it was amazing that they did that. Even, I'm telling you, ladies, even in Houston, when I lived in Houston, was doing some radio, my delivery guy came to the door. He's like, it was like a scene out of Coming to America. He was like, it is you. I told my friend I deliver food to the man who was on the TV. So it was actually, to get a shout out, that's what a shout out really meant. Like when people be like, yo, shout me out, what they expect, it was bigger than that. I never even thought. I got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers just off of, even D.L. Hughley recently reposted that scene.
Yeah,
I got like over 2,000 to 3,000 followers in like a day or two just off of that, and them shouting my name out. It was crazy.
That was so dope.
It was super dope. And I got to tell you, I don't want to keep talking and stuff like that, but yeah, it was crazy because I almost didn't go. Like I told you ladies before, like, and I'm, trying to, like after COVID, I'm writing a book and trying to get all this stuff together, because I've been in the business for 30 years. And really, I've been just operating off of talent, not just the confidence. The confidence didn't come, and it's not any fault of, of course, there's things that happen with childhood and anything, but you just don't know these things. And I was just happy being in the room and, being under the radar, not being noticed. And so when they sent me a ticket, and they was like, hey, we'll pay for your flight, whatever. It was unbelievable, because I was like, I had to talk with myself, because I had started going to therapy. I said, Rudy, you need to go out, see some people you haven't seen in a long time. Just kind of, you do belong. You think you don't, but you do. And when I got there, I'm talking about, there were people who are famous that was on the outskirt. They had me in the middle. Table across from me was Diddy. Table in front of me was Russell Simmons. On the other side was Cat Williams. Like I was at the table with Bruce Earthquake. And everybody was like, yo, Rudy. It was crazy. And it was only crazy because I belong. I did the work and my peers saw me as that. So, as we talking with you guys and people listening, they need to understand, like, you got to tap in to what's great about you. And I just started at that particular time. It was right before COVID hit. And then So and now I'm on another level with it. So yeah, it was a great night. It turned out awesome. God was like, I'm gonna shout you out on this. You ain't on the program, but I'm gonna put you on it.
That's
Exactly.
right.
So it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Well, hopefully you're gonna be shouting our name out. You know.
Right. No,
Nah, I got you. Silly girls all day.
So if you weren't in the world of entertainment, what would you be doing?
So I would have like, I was out of the world of entertainment when COVID came because you couldn't get on no planes. I lost my radio gig, which was crazy because I had been in radio since 2005. And so 2020 came and I'm number one on the show that I'm on, been number one in all the shows. And then my contract was up and they was like, see you later, buddy. And so to say what I would have done, I was about to take off my underwear, put some soft gray sweatpants on, and get an OnlyFans page. I was like, what else I gotta do? I'm about to be jiggling in front of this camera trying to get some paper.
People will pay for
oh
that.
my gosh. Like,
But real talk, I thought, I don't know at this stage in my career, I would probably I'm not sure, but there's a lot of stuff that I could do. But early on, I probably would have tried to go because I was interested in sports journalism. So maybe like being a sportscaster or something of that nature. If that was the goal, comedy wasn't never on the radar until I started doing it. But yeah, I thought I was going to be like, some kind of sports journalist because I played basketball, but that dream kind of died in high school. Once I was a senior and it was over, that was it. I had no college offers or nothing. So yeah, that was it. So that's probably would have been the bag for me.
I can see you being a sportscaster. As soon as you said that, it just
Coming to you live.
About the radio. So when you were on the radio, you were playing music, right?
So yeah, so it was like a natural morning show. Like here in Dallas, you got Didi in the morning, and I was actually so one of my first, and I worked before working with her, but my first major nationally syndicated show, I was working with Didi McGuire. So I've known her since like before 2005. I met her. She was a guest judge on the Apollo Kids tour, which I toured the country. This is when Steve was still the host of the Apollo. So I found like people like Jasmine Sullivan, Lil Bobby Thompson. Like I met them when they was like 11 years old and stuff like that. But yeah, so I got into radio early on. So it was a music playing show, it was Urban AC or hip hop show and stuff like that. And I've been on in over 40 markets. And then I got my own chance to be have my own radio show in Houston in 2014 to 2018. I was like 5 years I was on the air in Houston, and that was great. And then I came here to Dallas to be on KRMB, and that's when everything kind of hit the fan.
Okay, I said that because do you remember the song Special Kind of Food by Basic Black?
Yes, yeah.
I say that because I think it was on your Facebook page or something, and I was friends with you on there, and you had made a post about something about a song, and I was like, Special Kind of Food by Basic Black. And you said, what you know about that or something like that, but I was like,
I know all them songs. And that was like right before Black Street or right around it, but that song went hard. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I knew I would. Okay.
That was you. Okay.
Okay, I got a question for you. How did you even start doing comedy?
So it was crazy. I used to work in a law firm in Midtown Manhattan, and everybody used to always, I'm just a people person. So one lady came to me one day, Jewish young lady named Diane Lisi. She was like, you're so funny. I see how people are with you. She said, I was reading this thing, and she was big into entertainment. Like she followed different people. She's like, oh, he's going to be a big star. She's a great actress. So she came to me one day and she was like, hey, there's a big audition going on for In Living Color. In Living Color, Jamie Foxx and all of those guys were leaving to go do bigger and better things like movies and stuff like that. But they wanted to keep the show going, so they had this big casting call in New York City. And she was like, "Please promise me that you would go." Audition. And so, I saw the criteria. You had to have 3 original characters and blah, 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 blah. And I got to tell you, ladies, if I had just said, yeah, I'll go, I probably wouldn't, but I made a promise. So that was part of my thing too. Like part of me growing mentally was like, if I promise, because promises were broken when I was a kid, I ain't gonna break no promise. So I promised I would go. I told I would. And I did. And out of like 5,000 people, I was like number 400, something like that. I can't remember the number they gave me, but I got like 3 or 4 callbacks. They kept calling me like to come back in It was really looking great. And then they were like, oh, we're not going to do the show, but we love to keep you in mind if anything else. You know, that little nice little, hey, it's over. We ain't doing nothing. But that still made me feel like I'm funny. And then by that time, people in the office already knew what I was going through. So one of my boys, Reggie Simmons, an older cat that I work with, he was like, yo, you need to start doing comedy. I was like, yo, you sign me up anywhere. I'll try it for once. So there's a club called New York Comedy Club. You had to bring 3 paying customers on the amateur night. And as an incentive, they give you back $2 on every person you bring. So it's $7. They get 5, you get 2. I was like, I can get 10 people. And at the time, I was 18 going on 19 or something like that. I was young, and I hadn't started drinking or anything yet. So I was just thinking about like getting a burger and a Pepsi. You know, I was like, I can get $20, get something to eat, and find out if I'm funny. So many people from my job and my family thought I was funny. To this day, if they keep the record, 90-something people came to see me the first night. I made like $180. They had to save me to the end. It was crazy. So, and I had never stopped from that time. So, yeah, that's how I kind of got started.
Have you saw the lady who told you to do that?
So she's no longer with us, but yes, but I kept in contact. So what I used to do, I worked another year and a half at the job, you know, while being a comic. So even when that was the craziest thing, girls, I'm telling you, it was like I was on Def Comedy Jam and I still had a job. See, people don't know, like, dang, you wasn't rich, but people thought you was, you know? So I was still working, and I had been on because I was on Def Comedy Jam when I was like 20, 21. So I was in the office and people was looking at me walking there like this Def Comedy Jam was like everybody was watching it. So everybody was on it. So what I would do after I left the job, I would come every year because those are my friends, and they really, I mean, there was a huge swell of support from that place that I would go back every year for at least 5 or 6 years to the Christmas party until the faces started changing to the point where I was only like 3 or 4 people I recognized, and it was just not worth it. But up until then, people was like, you came back to see us? I was like, I really appreciated them. So yeah, that's basically, you know, how it went down.
That's dope.
Were you on a pop? Were you there when Lauryn Hill got booed?
No, you know what? I wasn't there, but you know what? And I might have been around. I got Lauryn Hill story too, but no, I might have been around, right? No. Let me tell you, I wasn't there. She was much younger. I think maybe, I don't even know if Steve Harvey was the host when she got booed. If it was early on, like the first couple of years he did it. But yeah, but I know Lauryn through way of her mom. I used to go get my hair cut at this place called Turning Heads in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a hair salon, nothing but women, but they had this one Spanish dude named Justo who cut hair in there, and the dude was nice. So he would cut my hair, but it was a couple other ladies in there, Diane DaCosta and a bunch of ladies who owned it. And I would be in there just yapping with these ladies, these grown women. That's part of my jokes too. I love older women, right? So I'd be in there, but they, you know, it wouldn't be disrespect. It'd just be great conversation. So this one lady who I talked to all the time, one day that Fuji song came on, I'm Mona Lisa, can I get right? And then she was like, oh, turn that up. My baby's on that song. I said, oh, one of your sons is in the Fuji. She's like, nah, my daughter is. I was like, word, ma, when am I coming over for dinner? I was like the girl from Sister Act 2. Like I was on it. So we laughed. I would see her mom every so often. But then it was like, you know, back in New York, and it's a whole thing. You would see everybody. I mean, everybody who's famous now was trying to make their way. And so there was a party that was a magazine opening. It was called Butterfly or something like that. But the Fugees were performing, and I was as well. So after they performed, you know, they talking to people, shaking hands. And I came up to Lauryn. I was like, yo, I said, I know you don't know me, but I know your mom from Turn the Head. She was like, Rudy? I was like, yep. So her moms was talking about me.
Yeah.
So we became friends. And just like anything else, there was 2 girls. Lauryn is one of them, but she was shortly going on tour. And that's when all the madness started happening. You know, tours are crazy. Your girl going on tour, look at me with a camera. When your girl going on tour, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's over. But yeah, it was her and the young lady from Diggable Planets. I met her too. And we was trying to have conversations and hang out. She was like, well, I'm going on tour next week. When I get back, it's going to be me and you. I was like, that's a bet. This is before cell phones. And when we came back, it was all crazy. She was, you know, like, but it's all part of life and everything like that. But yeah, it's a million New York stories in that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, can you tell us something funny that that you can remember right now that happened while you were on tour?
Ooh.
With any tour, any funny story?
No, let me tell you. It was so okay. So y'all know, you have you heard of the comic Red Grant?
Yes.
All right, so Red Grant gave me the title Mr. Turn Down, right? Because we'd go somewhere and 9 times out of 10, I'd be like, nah, I'm going back to my room. But we used to have early flights too. I didn't know how you could hang out and then be downstairs for like a 5:15 shuttle bus to the airport. That was part of the thinking. But I go out of town with Bill Bellamy now, and it's turn up city. Like we always go out afterwards. We eat in the afternoon. Like I gotta like take multiple naps to keep up with that, right? Which is dope. I love it, honestly. But there was the reason why I don't go out. Long time ago, we went to this college show. Like you know how colleges, some of them be in the sticks somewhere, and we were somewhere in the northeast. And there was this girl that we had to meet. This, one of the students at the gas station. It was this girl, black girl that went to the school, and the school was kind of mixed, but it was more white than anything. But she met us at the gas station. It was like 4 comics. We all drove up there, and she had this baseball cap on. She looked real regular, She was nice and everything. Wasn't nobody thinking nothing. We just like, oh, she took us to eat, took us to the hotel. We went and did. So she was like, all right, I'm gonna drop you guys off to the hotel, then I'll be back to pick you up for the show. She came to pick us up. It turned into Wonder Woman. It was like, who is this? Her hair was that? Like she was tall and she had body, everything. And I'm like, oh my God. And then of course she liked the vote, she liked the kid. So we go do the show and we have a great time or whatever. And everybody else want to go back. And she was like, well, I want to show you something. I'm going to take you somewhere. And so basically, and it was snowing at the time. So she wanted to take me out to this field that they go to. And when you go to this field, like the sky was so open, you can see all like the stars would be like sitting in your face. You know what I mean? Which was nice. But then like when we drove out there, it was like a rural area. And we got stuck in the snow. Now I'm from the city. Now Jason coming after me, like, in my mind, I'm like all these mass murderers out here just doing nothing but I hope somebody car stole. You know what I mean? So we out there for a long time. Our car stuck. So then we had to walk in the snow. And I'm talking about snow up to your kneecaps. We saw some houses or whatever. First thing we did, we went to this one house. This dude's whole face was a beard. I mean, he was scary. Like he could have chopped us up. Anyway, he pointed real quick and he was like, "Yo, there's some phone in the barn." We went to this barn. All you hear was the shuffling. It was. And then we went in this one room. It was like 200 cows. I'm thinking about it right now. I could die because I'm from the city. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Right, my heart is pounding like I'm going crazy, like it's a horror film. Yeah. Anyway, they called the school. They picked us up. We got back. We went back to the hotel. She had to stay in my room. I ain't want to do nothing. I was like, you ain't cute to me no more.
Exactly.
0. I almost died. So anyway, that just kind of put me in the mindset that anything can happen. You know what I mean? So just go work. And if you got a relationship or something, you kind of forge it and come back. I met people places and like, my whole thing is like, let's get back to if you go somewhere, you meet somebody in another country or whatever, but they traveling. Oh, I live in the US too. You like, well, let's get back to the US. Let's not, So my thing is they call me Mr. Turn Down because I'll be going home early.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
But I'll still smash, but I gotta meet you again and smash. like
yeah. Okay, listen. So what would be your dream opportunity in the industry right now to come true?
Wow, you know what? So I'm actually in the process of doing it. I'm gonna do a stand-up special that is gonna be one of the ones that's talked about for years to come. I'm trying to build around that right now. I want to do a book, but I want to be careful about it. So I keep getting revved up. The emotion is still there. The message still needs to be, put out there, but I can't come from a place of anger where I first started the initial thought of it, because there's a lot of pitfalls and things that men and women need to kind of know about getting with each other, having children, and then even the cycle of, you think that you're not going to be your parent and you turn out to be exactly what you were running from, or you run into that. It's a whole bunch of stuff and just life lessons. But definitely I want to just do that special. I've produced a few television shows that are going to be coming out and stuff like that with the writer strike and everything. So I just want to be a major player in the game. The first 28 years of my career, I was really just a part of it and an employee, so to speak. Now I got real estate in it. Now I'm an owner in a lot of different things. I'm on my Dame Dash to an extent, you know what I mean? And here's another Harlem cat, and he be off the rail sometime, but he be right on point.
Yeah.
In all honesty. So I just want, because that's the only thing that really hurt me during the COVID situation, outside of the equity that I put forth as a person, which really got me through, because I had some great friends who I can't mention, because if I say their name, everybody gonna call them for a favor.
Right.
At the same time, some people found out what was going on with me, and it was like, yo, hell no, you? Now we got you. So, between that and God's good grace and all that stuff, but yeah, I'm about to be that guy, but I'll own a large portion of being that guy at this point now, and other people won't benefit so much from it financially. My kids would. Yeah.
Yes, we manifest and see you.
Thank you.
Seriously, we friends, Rudy. So
yeah, no, that's what's up.
Don't treat us like the girl in the snowstorm now.
Right.
No, listen, she got some love too. She just ain't getting no love in. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, no, we good. That was a long night, but I was like, I can't do it. No.
To be honest, you was tired from rocking that snow, so you probably wasn't gonna be able to swing it right.
And I was no, I got no.
No.
I was young too. It was real on point there. I was like, what? My boy was like this. My boy was like, what? What?
Listen, so we, most of our podcasts, like we talk about relationships, we talk about friendships, we talk about sex, we talk about everything, right? So just our first topic that we want to bring to you is, what does courting look like for you as far as courting a woman? What does it look like for you?
It's a little different than it was back when I was younger, but then again, I was always kind of cool because, like I said, I dated older women. So for me, it's like courting is a little different, because like I like to get you out and just kind of get you in a groove, meaning like, yo, let's go meet up for XYZ. And sometimes the one thing I do now that's different, before I pick you up, that's more of a date. Now it's like women are a lot more independent, and there's portions of that I'm 100 with. So you independent, let's meet up here. And let's grab a drink. Let's go have some wings or get some coffee or whatever. And then as we chop it up, then I could feel like, yeah, she feeling it. Yeah, you don't want to leave. Yeah, you gonna come back with me, don't you? I see it. Like, so that's kind of courting for me, like putting people in a position where they're comfortable. Like I got my car or whatever. Or if there's and another good thing, and I can't lie, the super court is if I'm performing somewhere.
Yeah.
Like this, bring your girlfriends. You want 4 tickets, boom, boom, boom. That way they gotta go.
Yeah.
I'd be killing them. They like, I gotta leave. I'm like, you here with your 4 people. They know I'm dating side with you. Like, nah, we gotta go over here. But listen. Listen.
That was me.
Yes.
I hit the table.
She hit the
sorry.
table.
You're trying to tap on the table like, I'm ready.
I moved my hand.
Yeah. So stuff like that. I always put people in a position where, they feel comfortable, but sometimes it's like, dang, he ain't pressing me. I don't press. That's courting for me. I don't press at all.
Yeah. So the reason why we say that, because even like we had LeVar Walker. I know you know who he is.
Yeah, I know L.
Yeah. And so we was talking about like first dates and things like that. I don't know if like it was big about the ice cream date and the coffee date. And we so happy that you even said the coffee date, because a lot of men these days, they want to court at your house.
Oh yeah. They want you to come straight to the crib.
Yeah.
And I can't, my thing is I don't want you to, not that I don't want you to know where I'm living. I can handle that part. But yeah, it just insinuates a little too much.
Yeah.
It puts you in a bad place. You know what I mean? Because if you even hug her or something like that, it's like, oh, you just all hands on. Hey, I'm like, oh God. So yeah, going out and then like I said, y'all women used to do it to us back in the day, always leaving wanting more. So if a female really likes you and you tell her, yo, this was awesome. So we can catch up next week. Like next week, well, I got 3 more hours.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, I gotta get up in the morning. I got a flight, but yo, I want to do this again. This was cool. You free in a couple of weeks? I want to see you tomorrow. Like you always, if somebody like you and you put them off a little bit, especially women, because y'all don't like rejection, they feel not rejected, but they feel like, oh, he don't be doing this. He don't be blah blah blah. Be like, yeah, I gotta.
Yeah.
Because what's so crazy is that when you do not mention sex, it makes a woman want to have sex.
Oh, all the time.
Like as soon as, like if because is that the case for you too?
That's what he said, like the rejection part. Because if you're not trying to,
that's what he said.
I'm saying he said women don't like rejection, so
like,
that's kind of part of it.
If you ain't trying to smash, like why not?
Trying to say wrong with me, so it makes you be like, no, I want to do it.
Yeah. You don't mention it. Okay, so speaking of that, if your friend smashed a woman back in the day, is it okay for you to smash her now?
Yo, that's an awesome question, because if you had asked me this question in my 30s or late 20s, I would be like, hell no. Nah. So this is how it goes. And I'll be 50 this year. And this is the answer to that question. It's gotta be some major years. The friend can't be as close as a brother. You know what I mean? It could be an affiliate or somebody, like before. Like there's a young lady right now, and I won't say her name, but then the other comic will probably know and tell about it. But anyway, she dated another comic, which it caused a bit of beef between he and I, because I felt like he had the beef. Like I'm not with her, you know what I'm saying? Just because you can't live up to what I do.
Yeah.
You insecure about what you think about me. We had a little bit of beef, but I really cared about her. She was a really good friend. She was always around. She tried to come back to the fold, which she could have. She had other little boyfriends and stuff that I knew about, whatever. But knowing somebody and then somebody who I didn't really care for at the time made it difficult. But in hindsight, if it happened and I was older than it happened, I probably would have been like, okay, let's try to make it happen. I don't care about what you did with him, but back then I was seriously like, I ain't touching you. You crazy? Yeah. And he wasn't even a friend. He was just somebody in the same field and somebody I knew. So it's like, yeah, I was real hard on that. But I think now you got to be a little bit more flexible. But if it's your best friend, I could never do that.
Yeah.
If it's like my best friend. But if somebody like, well, we used to play basketball together, or somebody who's a comic, we happen to do a tour together, we got along well. So what?
Yeah, because that really is not your friend. That's your associate.
Absolutely. It's not somebody I speak to on the phone every day. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, at the end of our podcast, like, we're a little nasty. Okay, Rudy?
Okay.
So, we're just going to ask you some questions or, topics, and you just, just tell us what you think or something. Okay. So the first one.
Have you ever ran a red light?
All the time. Look, I got towels for that for days. I know what that is. Yeah, let me tell you something. There was one time, and so the older you get, the more you understand. When you running red lights, let me tell all the kids out there, when you run red lights, that means you got to go at a certain speed. You can't. Now, I mean, there's people who don't mind, but if you really wilding out, and depending on the person and how the river's flowing, you can have a murder scene looking up in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I've ran a red light before.
Yeah. So I'm saying, so you don't mind at all. You just put them towels down and you like.
Yeah. That's it. Let's get it.
Yeah. So I'm saying, is it wetter?
It is, but like I said, it depends on the person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes if it's wetter, but then there's that your ladies, y'all know it's a different kind of a flow other than it can get a little in there. Yeah. And if you're not good with blood, you start. So this one girl, I was like, you taking all your iron pills. God, you look like a goddamn rusty pot in this motherfucker. The fuck is that?
They always say, like, after you run red lights, you be smelling like pennies.
Yeah, man. Like hit you with a bag of pennies or something like that. I smell like a cat. Yeah.
The pennies.
That's iron skillet.
Yeah, it do.
So it's a video that's going viral of a man, and he was on a podcast, and he was saying not ours, but he was on a podcast, and he was saying that basically he give some women diet dick, meaning that he does not fuck every woman the same. So he said like some women he go all in, and some women he, you know what I'm saying, just give her diet dick. And another man on there, he was like, no, he giving women all the same dick because he want everybody to know that he's slanging it right. So do you give diet dick to some women, or do you give all the women all your all?
So I have given diet dick.
Okay.
But more than anything, I faked some orgasms. But the one thing I don't do anymore, I don't give community service dick out no more.
I'm glad you're not, because my ex, I call him CD for community dick, because he gave it to everybody, okay?
Yeah, like you could have like
he was Mr. Community dick, okay?
They be like, oh, she got a hump on her. Get that hump. You get your community service, because back in the day, community service for me used to think like, all right, you ain't gonna date a dude like me that's doing what I'm doing, looking how I'm looking. I was like 30, I'm in the gym, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you ain't got to, like you're a little awkward, you're a little nerdy, but at the same time, I see something in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, our community service, you know what I'm saying? Just don't get no feelings. But I'm still gonna hug you and be around for a minute, but I ain't gonna be your boyfriend. That used to be it, but I don't do that no more.
So basically now, you said you used to give community dick, now you give everybody the same?
No. I don't know. There's no community service dick, but I have done the little diet dick.
Yeah. You give diet dick.
Yeah, I've given it. Because sometimes you could tell who really needy and they want a boyfriend or something like that. And you're just trying to date. And sometimes now when you get older, sex is a part of dating. It's not like it used to be where it was a committal thing and everybody's being like sex is a part. It's like it's just as much as going to the movies and hanging out, watching something at the house. Sex is usually a part of the dating thing. Somebody tell me you dated somebody? Yeah, I was fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, you got to be careful, because there's some people who, even when you tell like, yo, I'm not looking for a relationship, and they feel, there's some women and some men who in their mind like, well, once I get it, I got you.
Yep.
So I'll give you the diet, and they be like, oh, that was good. And I'm like, all right.
So if she's like that, you go pull back a little bit on it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna give it you don't do the one arm, and she's like, I'm sitting on the arm, and he got the other arm. Like she ain't thinking about none of that, because she don't get that. She don't get the Black Panther. She don't get the Avengers dick. She get the Justice League dick.
Justice League, I am dead. I am dead. Listen,
I just sit you up there. You go do the work. Hey, look at me. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, listen. So it's also the video going viral, and right.
Another man on the podcast. Is it gay for a man to get pegged?
With Ford from Black Ink. I don't know if you saw the video. Everybody
was pegged.
Pegged basically is when a woman put on a strap and she
negative. Yeah, that's definitely going towards the rainbow, or you all in it. You immersed in the and the funny thing is, like I said, the older we get, the more we see things and society changes and stuff like that. Like it's like going to jail. There's an element there that, unfortunately, if you go there, you gotta have to kind of either deal with it or not. There's people who do and there's people who don't. But that thing y'all talking about, somebody putting a strap on and going at you, my buddy, that's something that's not manly to me. You know what I mean? That's something that, you know what I mean? I mean, I remember one time this girl trying to put her finger. I was like, I almost broke her wrist. Like, what you doing? She was like, you don't like that? I was like, who like that? Like the last 3 dudes I had, like, they crazy.
Yeah.
So people have their pleasures. I just feel like, to each his own. I won't call nobody out, because if you're just dating with women and they don't, I don't know. But for me, I feel like that is something that's totally on a feminine side.
That's like they're headed to the community.
Absolutely. I remember one time. Oh no, I can't say it on that.
Yes, we want it out now.
Yo, this girl tried to kiss me one time after doing some stuff. And I was like, no, thank you.
Okay.
I was like, if I wanted that, I would lick my fingers after I did myself. But I'm not doing that.
So basically, she can kiss you after she gives you some head, but she can't kiss you after she lick your ass.
No. You got to go gargle something, do some juice or something, and then I'm talking about all the way
Gotcha.
head. You know what I mean with all the way head. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. Cause I ain't gonna go there. Yeah, cause I go there. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Okay. So we know. So you have a birthday coming up next month. So do you have any big plans?
Yes. No big plans. Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. I wanted to really go all out because I turned 50 this year and I was thinking about Vegas. I thought about going home to New York and doing something. And now, like, being in Dallas, we got these casinos out here. So you got Choctaw and Windstar that really kind of have done a really good job upgrading. So it's a nice little trip for some people to come in or whatever. But I have to focus on some of the more important things, like some projects that I have. But the biggest one, my oldest, my 16-year-old who turned 17, 3 days before I do, she just came to live with me. Her mom passed in 2021. And so, she just came to be with me in February. She starts high school next week. So, like between her and my 7-year-old, who I've kind of been going through the mix, but she lives here and her mom and I are not, it's crazy. But one thing, the courts are crazy too. I never knew that because I never had that situation. But it just took a lot. So I'm rebuilding, putting money in different places as opposed to spending on a excursion somewhere right now. We ain't there yet, but I will celebrate it to some extent. I've never really been big into celebrating my birthday outside of just a normal dinner and friends or whatever. I really wanted to do something big for 50 because this is my 30 years in comedy, 50 years on the planet. I wanted to kind of do something real big, and we still might. You never know. I'm working on some stuff, but yeah.
Well, if you do, I'm going to let you know. I will make you a birthday cake.
Okay.
I have I make nice cakes.
I know. I saw your page.
Okay. So I'll make your birthday cake. So we know that you have a new podcast and it's called You Can't Rush Success. So Can you tell us about your podcast and our viewers so they can go check it out?
Yeah, you can actually catch it on all the podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, and Pandora, all that stuff. And it's basically, the show came during the pandemic era. It was just about like the fact that people see me, and they see others doing great things, and they think it happened overnight. But you really can't rush success in the sense of, I was talking to one of the members, Kevon Edmonds from After Seven. Great group. But I didn't know that he was in his mid to late 30s when he started. You know what I mean? And he had a brother in the group that was even older, Melvin, who had now passed away. But it just goes to show you, like, you work your whole life and you're doing all these different things. And you think, like, even someone like Kevin Hart, they thought it was an overnight success, but he actually has been working so hard for so long, so many failures and trials and tribulations. Same thing with Dave Chappelle. I helped that show early on because I was the host of the Apollo, and they needed somebody to do warm-ups. They wasn't able to keep the audience, in the set. And they were like, well, Rudy was great. One of the producers was a producer on the Apollo. And they was like, well, he's the host now. I don't know if he's going to come here and do warm-ups. Dave called me. I was like, I believe in the show, man. And sure enough, history was made. So it's like, just telling stories about, and it's not just relegated to comics. It's other people too, from different walks, executives, authors, everybody who has a story to tell, and just kind of encouraging other people to kind of just stick it out and realize when you can make a pivot, do something, and recognize your greatness.
That's dope, as well as because it has, Rush in the title. You know what I'm saying?
I've been trying to put Rush in everything.
It's like, okay. Also, you have a training about make money being funny. Can you explain?
Yes, please. So what I thought about during the pandemic, and big shout out to a friend of mine who inspired me a large deal to really put it into fruition once he passed away. My man David Arnold, comedian. A lot of people know of him, but he just finished his second Netflix special. He just got the car of his dreams and got 2 beautiful girls and a wife, and he's from Cleveland, but they lived in Los Angeles. And he passed away, and he had been teaching, doing comedy classes at the local comedy clubs for years. And it's something that some comics do because it makes pretty decent money, or at least some money. But he had, inspired me to say, you know what, I can show comics how to navigate the business of being a comedian, from not only being funny, but how to get stage time, how to really build alliances, and how to find the proper people to be around you. Because even from my mishaps and my not paying attention to things, if I had paid attention more, and we all could say what we have done 20 years ago, what we would do different now, what maybe I can hit a 19-year-old or 20-something-year-old or a 30-year-old to say, hey, put this money here, or have this person around. You're the boss. Manager ain't supposed to be bossing you. Like, all these little things that can really help you take your career to the next level. Make money being funny is that deal. So that's out now, and it's doing really well right now. And we haven't even started marketing it yet. So that's where we're at right now. A couple of companies are approaching us like, hey, we want to do this. We took out the feature of the one-on-one coaching because we're taking that to a whole nother level. So you can actually get Rudy Rush as a one-on-one coach. And I mean, to the point where we got financing for it. Like, it's like a college type of deal, because I'm going to sit down with you, help you write jokes, help you get positioned. And like, I can get you on in LA. I can get you on in New York, Atlanta, anywhere. And you possibly can get on some of the shows that I'm going to have. So it's a great thing. It's going to be $1 million project. Like I said, one of the things that I'm a boss on, and it's just like an awesome situation.
Yeah, good.
Listen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell. So no, listen, I had told her when I first saw you was on Apollo, I think I was probably I probably was in middle school or high school.
To make me feel old.
This crush on you. I remember I got in trouble one time. I could not watch TV, right? And Apollo, I think came on a Saturday night or something. And I got in trouble because I was like, I'm going to watch Rudy. You got me messed up. I turned that TV on. And I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, this, you know what I'm saying? You was my boyfriend in my head.
Oh, no.
I was like, my mom is not going to stop me from watching my boyfriend on TV. So I watched Apollo just to see you. Like,
oh, my gosh. Yeah. I love you for that. Thank you so much. No, that's.
I got in trouble for you, Rudy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
So can you tell us anything else, about anything that you're doing, or to, reach out, follow you, our project?
Yeah, I'm doing everything. Like I said, the top 5 is getting a lot of love right now. And the funny thing is, like, I got people sponsoring, like one of my sponsors, Harlem Homage. Harlem Homage is a clothing company from a gentleman. We actually went to Catholic school together. He was in my sister's class, but he's a fantastic artist. But him, Saint Royale Vodka, who else? Triple OG, and also David Ford glasses. And what I'm doing is right now, not the McDonald's and all of these big name companies like Crown Royal. I talk with them or whatever, but the small business people who really could use 1,000 people with eyes on them. 2,000 at a time, 18,000. I get those numbers that, like, your budget ain't crazy, but at the same time, you know what I mean? You believe in me and I'm going to make it happen. So, it's a small business opportunity for all of us to actually benefit from one another. So I'm doing that. I'm on tour with Bill Bellamy. We got 3 cities coming up: Raleigh, Austin, New York is coming up. And then I'm also thinking about doing a tour of my own. It's coming up soon too, because now I had not been in the rotation, but now everybody knows the Joker is on the loose. So he out there killing stages, and it's coming to a city near you. So it's going to be dope.
Yes. Are you going to be doing any improv here in Dallas?
So you know what? We was just here in the last 6 months or so. We just did Addison, I think was the last. No, Arlington was the last one. So it might be, but there's nothing on the books right now. It's funny when you live somewhere, they really don't get it. When somebody in your face, as great as I am, they would use it more, but they really didn't. So that's on them. I'm working wherever else I'm going.
Exactly.
While I'm here, I'm chilling with my girls, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, from the Sillygirlspodcast, we appreciate you so much. We know, like I said, that you are heavyweight, and for you to even come on our platforms means the world to us. Like seriously. So from us to you, we would like to say thank you. Continuously doing what you're doing. We're both fans. I've been fans. You know.
Listen, I just want to tell Lamar and D-Lay, who was on here, those are my boys. You know, I'm the more handsome guy now that's been on. I'm the most handsome guy that's been on the show. I love you fellas, but I'm sorry I messed up y'all little. You know, I should.
You won.
Nah, those dudes are great. No, this is an awesome show, man, and I'm proud of you both. And you guys got to keep doing it. And there's anything I could do to help you kind of get in contact with somebody, whatever, let me know. And I'd love to be back on if I got something to promote, please.
Please do. And because, like I said, we silly, so we mostly only have comedians on. So please send any comedian that, you know, our way.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Please just, you know, let us know. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
All of it. You know, seriously, for real. Make sure, for real, all of our viewers who's watching this, please go ahead and follow him. Go ahead and, you know, on Instagram, Rudy Rush. Like I said, check out his training, Making Money Being Funny. Check out his podcast. Follow that. You Can Rush Success. Any of the tour dates or anything that he posts on his page, y'all go check him out because he's funny as hell.
My girlfriend for real. You know everything I do. You got all that stuff. I said, you my girlfriend for real. You getting everything covered.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you, boo.
She don't do nothing else. She gonna do
We gonna promote all day.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely.
Thank y'all so much, you know, for checking us out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And again, go ahead and follow him and, you know, and check out all of his stuff. But again, Rudy, we love you so much. And thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Peace, ladies.
Bye.
I think there's my cousin, Trey Beast.